Hello. So the title says it all. I need to trim my moustache there. It's been bugging me. Getting hair in my mouth. I get annoyed. This is my mental health as well. It's like little things like that will bug me for weeks, and my brain doesn't register the annoyance. In a way that I'm able to acknowledge, you know, it's just a simple thing that needs fixing, and that's my physical body, that's my nervous system, because oh, what it is, it's like I can't feel it quite right. It's like my nervous system doesn't feel it correctly. So when the messages reach my brain, sorry, I'm just trying to correct my body, and I'm just tuning into my body at the same time. That's why I'm not speaking correctly. So it might be easier just to close my eyes for 2 seconds. That way I can do both. And my body doesn't recognize exactly what's the problem, and I'll get bugged for the longest amount of time before I'm able to suss exactly what the problem is in it. It's quite, well, not quite, well, I'm often more than capable to remedy it and deal with it myself, given my therapeutic background. There we go. But yeah, no, I just had to see myself in the camera, and the hair's hanging over my lip, to realise what I need to do to make my life a lot easier. But I've been quite active last night, which was a good thing. I'm trying to restructure my day. I've been trying ever since it's been knocked off track. And I can feel myself nodding off, so I thought I'd make a live stream just to check in and phase myself out of that meditative state I go into at night. Sorry, I'm gonna have to. I've got on a different phone with the light making the light, and the alarm's just gone off on it, so I just need to turn the alarm off. So you're gonna lose me for a second. But often it's like a meditative state I go into at night time when I'm active. It's really healing, actually. It's, in my opinion, it's far um, healthier than the quality of sleep I've been having for a while. And taking the time now on the live stream should allow me to just phase myself into the day. Voice some words. The only thing that pops to mind to mention is the Apple event. There was an Apple, the electronics company. They have events where they release new products, and yesterday was one of their new product releases. They had an event. Like, you can watch it online on YouTube if you want. But they released some new laptops, and that's where my interest has always been growing up in this world. You know, it's like technology and laptops, computers. I grew up always wanting an Apple computer. My auntie, she was not a designer, but she was doing something artistic, and where my grandparents had my mother and my second auntie, I guess early on, this other auntie, which is technically this other auntie is the second auntie. So my grandparents had my mother and my first auntie early on. And the second auntie, they had a gap of about 10 years. And I don't want to say they spoilt her, but she came into the world in a different time. And that was her. That was her study by design, so it was appropriate for her to have an Apple computer. We're talking about like the retro Apple computers, the old iMacs where they were still in colour. And I always looked at her and I envied the technology she had. You know, the first mobile phone she had, she passed it on to me. And I always envied the computers, the Apple Mac, and I wasn't so lucky to have one myself. There wasn't a need, a necessity for my educational path. What I tried to do, I was still fond of computers, and from the age of about 16, I got a really old computer from a Saturday job I was working at. Really, really old. I mean, you couldn't do hardly anything with it. But that's where I learnt about computers. I did try and upgrade it. I did try and improve the graphics to just play games. Not that I was really into games. And that's how I got into computers, and I just collected old computer parts, and I could put a computer together to a certain extent, and I kept trying to install the Apple operating software onto these old computers in like unofficial, illegal way. They made versions where you could transfer them over, and I was never really successful getting up and running. I always tried. Up until my late teens, that's what I used to do, you know. And I was lucky enough to be able to purchase an Apple laptop last year with the inheritance money. But computers have sort of they're not the same thing as they once were to me. And anyway, I mean, I woke up one morning, I remember the screen had just cracked, so I went to get the screen replaced. And then after the admission to hospital I had at the start of the year, I came home and it had totally just stopped working while I was away. And I watched the Apple event yesterday, and I craved the computer, you know. I really need Apple were a weird company. They make some really great products, and then they just take the piss. They take the piss as long as possible to get as much money as possible, and I follow what they do. And it seems, I haven't done the research, I haven't read the reviews, the testing and all of that hasn't really come out yet, but it seems that their latest laptop is a great product that they make every so often. And I realise I might not be lucky to, well, I might never be lucky to own an Apple Mac laptop again, or if it is that I am, it'll be a long time. My financial circumstances have changed. I've had this Mac laptop assessed, and the repair is just like you can buy another laptop for that amount. It just doesn't make logical sense. But I'm repairing the iPad that broke. I had 2 iPads, they both broke. I'm repairing one of them, and I've actually got an old, really old, like 2009 Apple MacBook that I bought as a second computer. It was stupid. I had my dad's inheritance, and I spent the money. Well, I spent it wisely, but a lot of the things you would argue are stupid purchases, and if anybody can believe it, I made a lot of wise, stupid purchases, and that was one of them. So I do have an old computer, I have a functioning computer, and that's all I really need. Between the MacBook, the iPad, and this old, well, it doesn't even work properly. The Bluetooth just stopped working. A couple of the keys on the keyboard don't work, but I know if I need a computer, I've got a computer, and I'm happy with that. Because I need a computer for life. We'll technically need a computer in these modern times. Here we go again. Everything's moving online to register for this, coronavirus, that. Assessments over there, you need to, your online accounts. But you know, it functions for that, and that's about it. I mean, in honesty, I love designing. I love using Photoshop. But I had a license. That was another thing I purchased with my dad's inheritance last year. They where they used to do products that you owned. So if I purchased the product, I could have it for the next 10 years. They've even stopped doing that. It's like you've got to pay a yearly subscription, and it costs £120 a year. I'm not going to be doing that again. I mean, I'm going to try and use the equivalent free version, but whenever I've tried to use it before, it's never been quite the same thing. And the way I go about learning computers, and my mind knows computers, I'm very like, especially with this bit of software, it sort of has to be Adobe Photoshop or nothing. I'm going to try it again, as I said. I'll do my best. It will just be a nice afternoon on the computer. I just enjoy it for some reason. And it might work. I might be able to do some design work. I did have ambitions of doing designing a VR app with the laptop, the MacBook. But like I said, forget that. So not much I can do there. But yeah, if anybody has ever thought about purchasing a Mac and they're not sure of it, it looks like the new one is the one to get. It will last you probably another 10 years. That's a good thing about Apple products, they last a long time. And the iPhones are commonly repairable. MacBooks, obviously, we've just discussed less so. It's all a bit of a sickness, really. That's why the way I've been left in this present moment with a laptop that just about works and is just about adequate to basic necessity needs, and an iPad that makes life a bit easier, especially when you've got a mental health disorder and you struggle with a nervous system. It adds a certain level of ease to my life. That's my experience, and that's why I chose to get. And I've been left with essentially pretty much probably what I need, rather than aspire to. So from my spiritual perspective, which is more fundamental than any technology that I own, to a certain extent, I'm happy. I can't ask for more, and any less I would be without. So I'll persist, and I've listed a load of stuff that I need to recoup some money for to help me with this move. And I've got a fun day today if my mental health allows it, and that's organising. My autism or OCD, however you want to look at it, has learnt to enjoy tidying up and organisation. I egoically gave myself the label of the best tidier upper in the world. I had a system when I was in my teens of how to tidy up really quickly and efficiently, and keep stuff relatively tidy. And that's involved into just enjoying tidying up and putting things in their place. And the flat is an absolute joke. It's a tip. Things everywhere where I've sort of been pulling stuff out before the move. So I've got a full day of that today, and I'm just hoping my mental health goes easy on me and allows me to get something out of the day. What else to share? Well, I've only got 10% battery and this phone has just been falling apart, so I probably won't get a chance to say goodbye on this live stream. The battery will probably die out before I would say so, before I say goodbye. But out of all that stuff I listed, there was one thing that is more special, because I'm selling stuff, nothing's really special. The one thing is special, and I'm giving that away for free. Of salt, like you put on food. And where I'm moving onto a metallic boat, steel boat, I take that with me. It's gonna help the steel turn to rust a lot quicker. I don't want to take it with, well, I do, but I'm not going to take it with me. And because it's important to me, and because it's one of the more humble items I own. It's probably the most beautiful item I own. And it's healing at the same time, so it's like, if anything's ever sensible to own as a possession in this world, it's pretty much this. So I'm giving it away. I'm hoping somebody wants to claim it. I will ask for postage, but it's worth over £100. I can show you, I'm looking at it right now. I'll just turn the camera around. Oh, you zoomed in somehow. There we go. That, it's a heliotherapy. The pink things are basically salt blocks, and it's really good for, I can't remember what it's really good for if I'm honest, but it's really good for health. This is my bedroom, this is where I sleep, and obviously to inhale whatever it gives out. Is healthy, and I've put it up on the wall in such a way where I've made it into like a decorative art piece, a picture frame made of bamboo. I was impressed with myself. It has to go. If anybody wants to own it, I'll send it out to them in the coming weeks. You can do your research on Google if you like as to what benefits there are to halotherapy. You become angelic, innit? My bottom's getting a bit pained sitting here. I think that's a sign it's time for me to get up and face the day. And as I end, I just remember where I am. I've been focused through the night, really focused to start getting my life back on track, and that's my sleep, my sleep pattern, and I'm awake most of the day and just nap here and there. That's basically it. It's so important to me, that. So I've had to be really focused to get through the night, and where I've been focused, I've forgotten the reality of life, and it just popped into my mind there. You know, where I've been on a daily basis for the last while, how bad yesterday was. And what is likely to be in store for me going into the day. So it's really put me present, this, and I'm just focusing myself, because I would like to share a few words from the insanity of everything that I've just said, from the focus of the night to my everyday life. And in my head, it's like my constant struggle there, my constant experience there of fight for healing and the lessening of suffering must have some wisdom in it, and I would like to share. So I'm going to take a moment and just absorb that, see what comes out my mouth. I like the sound of my own voice sometimes. Yeah, it's a case of I've just got no hope, in honesty. I've got days worth of tidying up ahead of me, so it'll be interesting to see how much if any balance I can restore. But it's just slowed me down, you know, where I was looking forward to the tidying up. It's just like, I've remembered, you know, it's not going to be quite as easy as I was hoping. And, there's going to be a fight on my hands, there is every day. It's going to be painful. And just not here to have any opinion. Just knowing just knowing life. So let's see if tidying up can get what is a heart that has stopped beating again on any level. Now, even if it's a single on the heart monitor machine.